Another of my investigators, Mark Mywords, is he's a very distinctive kind of professorial sort of a person. He works with very intellectually stagnant ideas, and he also is sort of a mystic. I understand, Mark, that you, well, in addition to being an adjunct professor, you know, dermatology and so forth, you are also a tennis ball whisperer. Am I right?
That is tennis bald, with a D.
Tennis bald. So I know you're expensive because there aren't many tennis bald whisperers, but do they ever have anything important to say that ordinary people can use, or?
When knocking your balls around, they are effusive on the court.
Okay, now I don't want to say this as an example of that, but you also give investment advice to people, right?
Indeed.
And lately you've been telling people they should sell shorts?
Yes, but that was short-lived. I once tried a hand in financial shorts, and now I'm banned from the stock exchange and Neiman Marcus.
So you wouldn't recommend that I try to sell my shorts?
I would not sell your shorts, but,
okay.
But behind the bleachers, behind the schoolyard, you may have a shot.
Okay. Now, one of the things that fascinates me is a book that you recently wrote on the surprising importance of corn in world religions. You wrote that book along with Professor Zelda Footbang, right?
Yes.
I understand she never wears shoes.
Well, that was a bit of an issue. Between shoes and shorts, we had a difficult time getting service over at IHOP. But I'd like to refer to your question's implied issue.
Yes.
The implication of what does this mean for something like serial monotheism? Every time people say grace over a bowl of Fruit Loops, another Toucan Sam earns his wings, I like to say.
Okay. Maybe that explains another part of the book that I found mysterious. You're talking about how some religions have a different name for Canadian bacon.
They do. Sometimes they roll over and they just sizzle. So it's like speaking in tongues, and I assure you I am excellent and well practiced. But sizzle is a strange sort of refined performance that you do only when you're inspired by the divine. Inspired by the divine.
You know, that reminds me of your lectures, which are pretty involved, and they are mystically divine. I know you're doing a new lecture this week, well, very soon anyway, on growing spines in a lab, the future of Bitcoin.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, as you know, recently years ago, Congress funded lab-grown spines modeled after birds, but one angry tweet and they all collapsed.
So what I am thinking is collapse is kind of an undercurrent to a lot of the lectures you give. For example, I remember I attended one of your lectures on the physics of self-abuse, and most of the people in the audience were sobbing by the end of that.
Yes.
Yep, sobbing.
Many of them had issues with the L bone. Their L bones were all worked out, and many of them had injuries by the end.
You know, I think people need to study your works more carefully to get a real understanding of what this life is all about, right?
What is this life all about?
That's right.